Hello everyone, myself Prachi Jain. Welcome to the new video of class 12 economics. In this video, we will discuss macroeconomics introduction part of chapter 1, that is national income. So let's start. The very first thing is, in this video we will cover the meaning of macroeconomics, meaning of microeconomics, their difference and some other basic concepts. So first is the meaning of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is derived from Greek prefix macro, meaning large, plus economics. It is a branch of economics dealing with the performance, structure, behavior and decision making of the entire economy. So where macroeconomics is concerned, we talk of economy as a whole. This includes a national, regional or global economy. Micro and macro are the two most general fields in economics, and these are the two basic fields of economics, major fields of economics, micro and macro. So next is the difference between micro and macroeconomics. As you have already studied in your class 11th, microeconomics and its meaning, microeconomics is primarily focused on individual agents, that is firms and consumer, and how their behavior determine price and quantities in a specific market. So basically microeconomics deals with the individual, whereas macroeconomics is study the economy as a whole. Macroeconomics is a broad field of study. It studies aggregate indicators such as GDP, employment rates, price indices to understand how the economy functions. Macroeconomists develop models that explains the relationship between factors such as national income, output, consumption, unemployment, inflation, saving, investment, international trade, international finance. So these are the different fields or the factors that macroeconomies deals with. Macroeconomics models and their forecast are used by government and large corporation to assist in the development and evaluation of economic policies and business strategies. Fiscal policies and monetary policies are the good example of how economic management is achieved through these government strategies. So basically if we talk about fiscal policy and monetary policies, fiscal policy is formulated by government and monetary policies are formulated by RBI. So these are the two major sectors in which government play an important role in forming different policies and programs. Government help the people. It is also vital to point out here that to avoid major economic shocks such as Great Depression, recession, meltdown, etc., government make adjustment through policy changes they hope will stabilize the economy. So basically government take these measures with the help of monetary and fiscal policy to stabilize the economy. Whatever the problem that are there in the economy, be it of depression, be it of recession or other problems, government always focus to stabilize the economy with the help of monetary and fiscal policies. Next we have some other basic concepts, that is computation of national income is important as it reflects the level, growth and development of any country. But before you introduce children with the concept, meaning and definition of national income, GDP and other related terms, introduce and explain the basic concept and terms which will invariably be used in the computation of national income. Before we go on with the meaning and definition of GDP and national income, it's important to know the concepts that are there in the framing of national income, what all the components that are needed when we compute national income. So first is the final goods and intermediate goods. What are the final goods and what are the intermediate goods? So final goods are those goods which are ready for use by their final users, or final goods are those goods which have crossed the boundary line of production, means the goods that are ready made available for us to use, for the ultimate consumers to use. No value is to be added to these goods by way of further processing or resale. For example, consumption of milk, vegetable by the consumer household. Final goods are further classified as final consumer goods and final producer goods. Now, what are these? Final consumer goods are those goods which are finally used by consumer household or we as an individual, like milk, bread, car, washing machine as used by the consumer household. And final producer goods which are finally used by the producer firm, like plant and machinery, building as used by the firm or the producers. So building, plants and machinery, these are the final goods for the producer, and bread, milk, washing machine, these are the final consumer goods for the consumer or for the household. Final goods, final consumer goods are purchased or used by the consumer for the satisfaction of their wants, whereas final producer goods are purchased or used by the producer for further production. Whatever goods as a producer is using is being used for further production of creation of some other goods, which is again used by the consumer household only. Next concept is of intermediate goods. So intermediate goods are those goods which are not ready for use by their final users, or intermediate goods are those goods which are within the boundary line of production. Value is yet to be added to these goods by way of further processing or resale. All those goods which are not ready for the final consumption, for the final usage, is termed as intermediate goods. The very good example for intermediate goods can be the raw material purchased by one firm from the other firm for further production is called as an intermediate good. We have a clear difference between the final goods and intermediate goods. The main difference between the final goods and the intermediate goods lies in the end use of goods. The same good may be a final good or an intermediate good depending on its use. For example, use of petrol by consumer household is regarded as a final good, whereas the petrol used by some travel agency is regarded as an intermediate good. Why? Because they are further using and providing the services to other people, and whatever things is being used, if the good is being used in some other ways in creation of certain goods or services, that will be termed as an intermediate good, not the final goods. Okay, so it depends a lot on the usage also. In brief, the main difference between the intermediate goods and final goods are, these are used for the production of other goods and services in the form of raw material, that is the intermediate good. And final goods, these are not used as a raw material for the production of other goods and services. These may be purchased for resale or reselling, but the final goods are not purchased for reselling, but they are purchased for the self-consumption. These goods are within the production boundary, means the further production has to be done with the usage of intermediate goods, whereas the final goods are out of production boundary. So with this, we'll stop our class here, and I really hope that you have understood the concept. If you have understood the concept, then stay tuned for more videos. Thank you very much.